Hi folks, PD Mangan here of Rogue Health and Fitness. In this video, I wanted to talk about muscle loss and why strength training is important for everyone. Man and woman of any age, everyone should be doing strength training. It's just crucial for health. There are a number of reasons for that. One, the main reason is that with aging, muscle loss is just totally normal. With aging, you lose muscle unless you do something about it. And this starts noticeably when a man or woman is in their 30s, and then it accelerates, and such that when a person, a man or woman, hits the age of 80, they can have lost a full 50% of their muscle mass. And this is just a disaster because muscle is so important metabolically and for strength. Metabolically, it's important because muscle is an insulin sink. It's a metabolic sink. It helps keep your metabolism normal. It keeps your insulin sensitivity good, your glucose uptake good. And so it's crucial to have a normal muscle mass. It's just this is one of the main causes of problems in aging, is having an abnormal muscle mass, too little muscle. And then, of course, for strength, it's important too, because as you get older, you lose strength and you become unable to do many things, just even activities of daily life. People who have an extreme muscle loss, sometimes they can't even get out of their chairs. Extreme muscle loss is known as sarcopenia. And when people have sarcopenia, they need assistance in daily living, like getting up and going to the bathroom. And they often they are prone to falling and breaking hips and other bones and ending up in nursing homes. And so it's a real serious business. It's not just a matter of looking good or feeling good or something like that. It's critical for health to keep your muscle. And this is why everybody should train for strength. And I will discuss some other ways to do that at the end of this video. I wrote a lot about strength training in my book, Muscle Up, and why it's crucial for health. So I'm going to show you some examples of why it's important for people to keep their muscle as they get older. In this figure, you see muscle loss with age. As you can see, it starts in the decade of the 30s. This is grip strength, and as correlated with age, and it just falls dramatically as people get older. So it's like by age 80, it correlates with just what I said. You have about 50% of the grip strength that you did when you were in your 30s. So there's been a lot of research on this, and what's even worse is that when people get older, they often have other illnesses and they end up in the hospital or just in bed at home, and you lose muscle even faster when you're bedridden or hospitalized. You can lose a kilogram or more of muscle in just 1 week of being bedridden. So you need to maintain your muscle. So let me show you this other slide here. This one is a very dramatic illustration of muscle loss. So these are MRI scans of quadriceps muscles, or through the legs. I should say it's not the whole. It's more than the quadriceps muscle. It's through a cross section through the entire leg, upper leg, the thigh. And in the top photo, the top MRI photo, you have that of a 40-year-old triathlete, and you see he's got lots of muscle. And with a thin layer of fat, you see the bone in the middle. So that's normal and healthy. In the middle, you have an MRI scan of a 74-year-old sedentary man, and you see that he's lost most of the muscle compared to the upper photo. It's been replaced by fat So it has a large layer of fat, thin amount of muscle, or low amount of muscle rather. So this can be prevented, as you see in the bottom photo. This is a 70-year-old triathlete, and he still retains all his muscle, just has a thin layer of fat. So so that's normal. The bottom one, that's what you would want to see. You want to exercise and stay active to keep your muscle. So here's another one. This is the loss of muscle over just 3 years in men and women, and the people who lost weight generally lost a lot more lean mass in both men and women. People who gained weight just barely kept even, but people who were a stable weight also lost muscle, and they also lost a lot of strength. And then this one shows, this is annual muscle loss in white men, black men, white women, and black women. And you see annualized declines were large, 3 to 4% in men and 2 to 3% in women. So this is really bad news. Now, there are 3 things at least that you can do to retain muscle mass. One, as I noted, is strength training. So lifting weights or other forms of strength training, body weight training, other forms of exercise where you use your strength. Those are important to retaining muscle. And then the other way is getting adequate dietary protein. So a lot of older people, well, a lot of everybody in the United States, they don't eat enough protein. We've been told that meat is bad for us, which is not true, to say the least. It's a health food. But for that reason, people are not eating as much meat, and they eat a lot of junk, a lot of garbage, garbage as they call it, and vegetable oils and all this kind of thing. So they don't get enough protein to retain muscle, much less build it. And then another reason, a final reason I'll give you is I'll show you this article. This is iron accumulation with age, oxidative stress, and functional decline. Now, this is an animal experiment, but they found that in these animals that iron, non-heme iron or free iron, accumulated in muscle with age, and it led to deterioration of muscle, was correlated with strength and muscle mass. So keeping iron in the low normal range, as I wrote in my other book, Dumping Iron, is very important for retaining muscle. So this is something that the mainstream health authorities they don't tell us this. I was talking to a man the other day, a guy about my age, smart, intelligent, good job, that kind of guy, and very interested in staying in shape. And we started discussing a little bit about exercise, and I told him that 90% of what I did for exercise was weightlifting. And I told him why, because it's so important as you get older to retain muscle, because if you don't do that, you lose muscle. And his reply to me was, I did not know that. So here's a man who's attuned to fitness and so on, and he doesn't know that. And so I suspect that this is the case with almost everybody. They don't know this because no one is telling them this. So I'm telling you this, you've got to train for strength. If you're at all interested in your health and fitness, you must train for strength. The most common way of doing that is by lifting weights, but there are other ways of doing that. And that's it for now, and I'll see you later.